Dear law student, should you do a judicial clerkship after you graduate from law school? My name is Marco Brown. I own Brown Family Law in Salt Lake City, and I did a judicial clerkship after law school. I was in the 3rd District in Iowa at a trial court, and I absolutely think that you should if you can. Here's my reasoning. You get out of law school. Law school teaches you essentially one thing. It's how to think like a lawyer, okay? But you don't know how to do anything as an actual lawyer. So you can certainly go start working for a law firm, do these things. But I think that a judicial clerkship is really like graduate school for lawyers, especially if you're in a trial court. So you get to go in there, you get to realize how judges think, which is very different from how lawyers think about problems. So you get to figure out how judges think about things, how they set up their calendars, how they interact with attorneys, how attorneys interact with them. You get to see how trials work as well. I helped on first-degree murder trials, I helped on burglary trials, I helped on civil trials, I helped on juvenile trials. I had a really wide swath of information and different legal subjects that I helped on just in the trial phase. And then there's all the pre-trial stuff that went on as well. You get to see how motions work and summary judgment, like, soup to nuts. You get the entire experience if you're in a trial court. And then there's the writing portion of it. So you actually get to sit down with your judge, reason through the evidence with your judge, and then write the decision. That's what my judges did. They tasked me with doing that, and they would make revisions to it. But the vast majority of the time, they said, okay, this is what I'm thinking. We discuss it. And they said, go write it. And then I had to write that. And it was absolutely fascinating going through that process. Made me a much better writer. And it really also helped me with the Blue Book. So I read the Blue Book front to back, I don't know how many times, probably 7, 8, 9 times, annotated the entire thing. By the time I got done with my clerkship, like I was a citation expert, and I wrote so much better than I did at the end of law school because that was my job so much of the time. And when you write, you think, right? Like writing is essentially putting pen to paper and making yourself think through things. So you really have to spend a lot of time thinking through the legal arguments. And it makes you a much better thinker as a lawyer. It makes you a much more deliberative thinker. It makes you much more thoughtful. And I think it just makes you a much better attorney. So I tell everybody when they get done with law school, if you have the opportunity to go get a clerkship, and specifically a clerkship with a trial judge. So I'll make another video about the merits of appellate clerships and trial court clerkships, but I think trial court, if you want to be a litigator, is really where you want to go. If you're going to be transactional, maybe it's a little bit different. Obviously, if you want to do appellate, it's going to be a little bit different. But if you want to litigate, the trial court is really where you want to be. I think it probably shaves 3 years off your career if you do a clerkship and really put a lot of time and effort into that clerkship. It'll make you a much, much better attorney. Okay, until next time, thanks a lot.